Are you playing the role of the weatherman or the rainmaker? This is a question that I often find I ask myself when it comes to my own personal and professional development. In more raw terms, am I playing the role of the victim or the creator? Oftentimes when we hear that term victim, we think of somebody curled up in a ball in their bed, maybe with a tub of ice cream or some salty chips, feeling like, the world is completely against them. But I want to share a softer version that victimhood often shows up. And I can definitely speak for myself in saying that I can identify with this definition. And that's the definition of the weatherman. It is the idea of not having control over the things in our lives. And just like a weatherman, he reports on the weather. She talks about what's happening out there as though it's inevitable. Have you ever caught yourself doing the same in your own life? Have you ever caught yourself saying, that's just the way that it is. I can't do anything about it. It's not an option. Is that really true? That little question, is that really true, has made the difference in so many lives to get honest and real about how much power and how much potential and influence over our lives we actually have. Because the rainmaker, the creator, recognizes that it's not necessarily about fighting our way through, but it's owning the fact that we have control over how we choose to respond. You, as agri-leaders, have a lot of responsibilities that range all across the board, from your personal to your professional work. And oftentimes, whenever I use that word responsibility, I hear a groan. No more responsibility. Please don't add anything to my plate. But I want to talk about a different definition of responsibility. So think about responsibility instead of all of the things that you have to do. Think about responsibility as the ability to respond, or more specifically, the ability to choose how we respond. It is the remembrance that we have choice, because so often we can get stuck in that loop of the weatherman, of believing that, the life decisions that I've made up until now, perhaps the business decisions that have been made up until this point, are dictating the rest of my path. And it's not true. I'm sure that each of you have known people who have done 180s in their lives, who have changed things, who have made drastic changes. And you say, wow, that's intense. That's one option of being a rainmaker, but it can be much more subtle. It can be recognizing that in each moment, we have the ability to choose our response to whatever is happening around us right now. Whether that's something that we're excited about or something that, like that expectations gap that we totally didn't plan on, but maybe there's a silver lining there. So, which one are you going to be? Are you going to remember that you have the power to have influence over your path, over your trajectory? Or are you going to choose to be the weatherman, to just report on what's happening in your life as though you have no control? I can tell you, both are absolutely options, but the rainmaker, the creator, feels much more fulfillment at being able to adjust and move and shift as life requests and demands in order to find fulfillment and greater leadership capacity, both for themselves and for everyone around them.